3 out of the box ways you probably didn't think you could use AI for, but I use it all the time. Let's talk about it. None of these are super techy, and they're definitely not what you typically hear when you hear people talk about ChatGPT or AI assistants. These are real life, mom life, farm life ways that I've integrated AI into my day, and I think you'll find at least one that makes you go, wait, I didn't even know I could do that. So let's dive in. Welcome to AI for Mompreneurs. This podcast is for moms who are tired of doing everything the hard way. You're running a business, managing a home, caring for your children, and making a million decisions daily. Exhausted, overwhelmed, burned out, and out of time. Another planner won't fix it. More productivity hacks won't either. I know because I've been there. I'm Samantha Welch, a wife, a mom to 3 daughters, homeschooling my girls and my niece, running multiple businesses, and managing my 40-acre farm. I've burned myself out more times than I can count trying to do it all with excellence. The game changer, AI. When I learned how to use AI as my personal assistant, everything shifted. I finally had systems that worked, clarity in my business, and more time for what actually matters. Now I'm here to help you do the same. Learn how AI can take the mental load off your plate so you can focus on what truly matters most. No tech jargon or complicated setups here. Just AI that works for mamas just like us. Are you ready? Let's dive in. I am so excited about this topic because I think that AI is such an amazing tool, and I think it's also a very underutilized tool as well. And there are so many ways that you can use it just in your day-to-day life to make things so much easier. The first one might surprise you. So I use AI for plant identification and gardening. So I live in rural Arkansas and I have a 40-acre farm, and I am all into gardening and learning about the natural resources around me and how to utilize the stuff on my property. So I have got it all set up so I can just drop a photo into a running thread inside my ChatGPT app, and it identifies the plant for me. But I don't just stop there. I actually ask it to explain why it identified it that way. I wanted to break down the identifying features and what it pulled from in order to identify it so that I can learn and say, oh, if the leaf is smooth, then it's this plant. If it's not smooth, it's not this plant, which is super cool and super helpful when I'm trying to learn and start memorizing the plants around me. Then I ask it to tell me how to care for it. So I ask it, where does it grow best? What does it need? How do I maintain it? And whether or not I even want to grow it myself. So like I said, I use this in gardening too. So just earlier this week, I planted my garden and I had a variety of plants that I had bought. And so I wanted to plant everything in the best way so it would support each other. So I used it to tell me what herbs should I plant around squash to keep the bugs away. And then I told it the list of herbs that I have. And FYI, that is thyme and oregano apparently, which is super cool. I didn't even realize that. I also found out that rosemary and tomatoes don't like each other. In fact, they say it could even stunt the growth of a tomato, which I had no idea about. So definitely kept those apart. But then basil is not only good for tomatoes, it's great for peppers too. And some are even saying it can make them taste better, which is like amazing. Sure, I could Google all of this and say like, I have basil, what are companion plants to basil, and all this stuff. But then I would have to search through probably 12 different blog posts and all these kind of opinions, versus it's so much easier for AI to do that full search for me, sort through all the information, and then give me exactly what I actually need to know. I'm telling you, this comes in handy all the time on the farm when I'm trying to figure out a flower in one of our flower beds because I inherited a bunch of flowers, or I find a random weed growing in the pasture and I want to know if it's worth keeping around or if I should get rid of it. And just for fun, I ask whether a plant is edible or has any medicinal properties as well. and whether there's any other practical uses for it. Of course, oh my goodness, disclaimer, before you consume any plants or use them, you should definitely verify from a trusted source, like a book, place online that you trust, etc., etc. And then cross-verify it again to make sure of that use and edibility of that plant. Don't ever consume a plant just based on what AI tells you. Make sure that you double check that. Just want to make sure that you got that disclaimer. But AI can be a great starting point to spark an interest with, oh, I didn't realize this plant had that use. And then you verify that use, and then you may learn that in your own backyard, you might have a plant that helps treat infections. You might have a plant that's really good for your gut and immune system. It has been absolutely so fun. I cannot tell you how many times I have discovered a random wild plant growing near like my rock wall or garden, and it turns out to be pollinator friendly, native to our region, and even something I can use as an herb or natural remedy. It is so cool. So if you've never thought of using your AI assistant this way, this is your chance to explore what's growing around you, and you'll be shocked at how much useful information it can give you with just a picture and a few follow-up prompts. The second way I use AI is a little bit sentimental, but I think it is incredibly powerful. And I actually use it as a memory keeper. So whenever a memory pops up, especially about my mom, who I lost when I was really young, I'll open up my running threads and I'll drop that memory in. Maybe it's like a song that triggered a moment or a smell that took me back, and I'll just write it down, but most of the time I just push the voice feature and I just talk that memory out. My goal is to eventually compile a book of memories for myself, and this gives me a safe, searchable place to kind of store them while they're still fresh. I do the same thing with memories from our farm. So the farm is so rich in history, and I am very blessed to be able to talk to the original owner who built it and hear her tell me stories and memories that she has. And I want to make sure that I'm capturing those things so that I can eventually write something out about the legacy of our farm and then give that to my kids. On another personal note, I also keep a running list of praises and answered prayers. So every time something amazing happens or a prayer is answered, I will jot that down. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to go back and I'm going to ask it to compile all of those into a document. And I'll get to see all the blessings and all the ways that God has moved in my life. Because how often do we get to December and we think, well, that was a good year, but we can't even remember why. This way, I'll actually have a tangible record that will help me reflect and will grow me in my faith and will remind me, even in the messy middle, that God has been so faithful. I give you all of these ideas because the cool way that this works is that I can compile all these memories, I can compile all this stuff, put it into one chat thread, and then at the end of the year, I can actually have it pull all of the stuff and put it into like a document or whatever. So it's like this glorified keeper, and then it will pull everything, make it a document, make it where it's printable, and it can even like pull out details. So I could say, I just want you to share only the memories that have to do with this part of the farm, and it will pull all this stuff out so that it's like a place that stores, searches, and then eventually will actually turn it into something that I can use. So that's why this is super amazing and not just your typical running notes. The third way that I use AI, which is super practical, is as a daily reminder system. This is a newer feature that ChatGPT rolled out, and it says it's still in beta as of the time of this recording, but it has been super handy, oh my goodness. Right now, for example, I have been starting seeds in my greenhouse, and so every morning at 10 a.m., my assistant sends me a reminder to go water them. Because let's be real, if I don't get that reminder, I will totally forget and my little plants will die. In fact, it was almost killing everything that made me go, oh, I should probably remind myself. And I don't want my seedlings to be dead. So every morning at 10 a.m., it actually sends me a pop-up notification on my phone, and it sends it by way of email as well. And you can just go in and do that by starting a new chat, and then up in the corner where it asks you what model you want, you do tasks. Now, I'm not entirely sure if tasks is available in the free version of ChatGPT. I paid the $20 a month, and I believe that it is completely worth it. So I don't know if it's in the free version, but I know in the paid version, this is such an amazing thing. I mean, it also reminds me to do my social media posts, to take my vitamins, and some other things that I need to do daily, but tend to forget when I'm juggling all the other responsibilities. I have used Google Assistant for stuff like this in the past, and while it works, I love having everything in one spot. My tasks, my content ideas, my reminders, everything is connected in my assistant. So whatever I'm doing, it can actually draw on these things and can help me kind of stay straight with if I'm making a schedule, it can remember that I have tasks that need to happen. And so it's just nice to have everything in one place. So these are a few ways that I use AI that goes beyond business and marketing, and they have saved me so much time, mental energy, honestly, emotional bandwidth too, and also just being able to explore the world around me and to safely store things that I want to go back to later. So if you're listening and you're thinking, okay, this actually sounds like something I could use in real life, then I would love to help you. My one-on-one assistant training setup is designed to help you train your own ChatGPT assistant to work just like this, customized to you, your brain, your season, and your needs. So whether you want to keep on track with your to-dos, document your story, or finally start that garden journal that you've been meaning to keep, your assistant can help you get it done without hiring someone or adding any more mental load. You don't have to do everything the hard way anymore. Let me help you build something that actually works for you. So if you're interested in that program, the link is in this show description, and I would love for you to check it out and book a free coffee chat with me so we can get to know each other and know, is this program right for you? And until next time, I just encourage you, keep exploring AI and what it can do for you. That's it for today's episode. I hope you learned something new or had a breakthrough. If you loved this episode, take a second to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It lets me know you're enjoying this content and helps more moms find it. And if you know another mama who's struggling with overwhelm and burnout, share this with her. Let's spread the word that AI isn't just for corporate executives or tech nerds, it's for moms like us. Until next time, go make AI work for you.